Okay. Hi everyone. So let me share my screen and anyone just confirm me whether you are able to see my screen or I'm audible properly.
Yes, you're audible. We can see your screen.
Okay, thanks. So today is day 13. So as we confirmed yesterday, we almost complete the technical steps, especially the data loading part, the basic thing what we can operate on data. Today that I'll be covering today or maybe most probably day after, tomorrow, we're going to complete BI, that is business intelligence. So the overall thing or overall project or application you can receive or the part of the thing, so that you can take what part you are going to work if you are just willing for a job or what is the purpose for doing that thing, data engineering and all. So the main thing is called that is BI, business intelligence. Okay. So how we need to prepare the data. That is all. That should be our motto. Okay. So first of all, I think I just covered a bit on that topic on very high level on the beginning of the courses. So I'll be just trying to cover most of the part by today or tomorrow for the business intelligence. After that, we can quickly touch base on cloud computing part, some of the components and how to use those particular stuffs, how to spin up servers, especially from AWS for 2 or 3 days, and we can close the session and close the course for the first data engineering. Okay. So first of all, each of the organization, each of the factory, each of, whatever in modern days, everything is based on data. If we are just going ahead with a particular showroom, then we are, purchasing product. There are, lots of data is getting collected at the data warehouse. Okay, what project product we are purchasing, what is the user's name, uh what particular day they have purchased the product, what particular discount they have received. This kind of stuffs are data, and that is getting stored into their data hub. Okay, but why that particular thing is being stored? Is there any meaning of that one? Why we are storing that thing? Maybe if while purchasing the product, they are keeping record of that thing, and while returning of the product, they just keep the same thing whether they have bought the product at their store or not. They will be just checking the batch ID. This may be a scenario, but for business intelligence, this is not the only scenario. They are collecting the data and they are analyzing the data between themselves, their marketing company, their marketing stuffs. There, lots of the business intelligence stuffs, data analyst stuffs. They are analyzing the data. They are converting the data into meaningful one, and by the same data, the business owner or decision maker, they're taking decision what particular thing they need to do to improve their business as well. So this is the main motto of business intelligence over here. Okay, so in our perspective, what we have to do, what uh, thing we need to, what role we need to play over here as a data engineer, that is we are going to cover over here. So actually, in the business intelligence, there are two kind of jobs we can quickly just go through. One is called the data team. Two kind of teams they can work together. One is data team. Another one is visualization team. Data team, what they do, they can prepare the raw data. Raw data means what data they are transferring from the transactions. Daily basis transaction. The data team collect the data, convert the data into meaningful data, and they store the data in data warehouse. This is the work of data team. Anyone can choose this particular work, or they can just prepare for themselves for only data team. And there is another one, visualization team, who took those data. There are variety of tools I mentioned earlier as well, and you have to implement the logic, proper logic. For the based on KPI. KPI is one of the most important term. We'll be covering this thing later, maybe tomorrow. It's key performance indicator. So based on different KPI, they need to prepare the chart, graphs, and all. Okay. So that is the thing overall, I mean, the most important thing from the data engineer's perspective, when the chart and graphs is built on top of meaningful data, that is data warehouse the data team has provided, then it should be thrown to the business, not thrown exactly, I mean, it should be presented to the business owner. They can take that decision for the more, I mean, they are having the forecasting of the business as well on top of this graphs and charts. So this is the overall thing. We'll be going to more deeper on that way with meaningful pictures and all. Next slides. Okay. So let me just bigger this picture. I just mentioned the same thing. What BI application is doing. I mean, this is the BI application, business intelligence application. The application is there. So just like this is a shopping mall data they are collecting. It's sales data. It's not only sales data actually. Even if we are running a particular just like showroom or this kind of outlet, then we need to think about the employees as well. Who is working in which duty? If they are doing extra work, then we need to pay the bonuses as well. We can give the ranking facility as well, which sales representative is having the higher rank or who is having the more he's convincing the other customers to buy a particular product. So this kind of stuffs we can give the bonus to that particular sales representative, and we can put the rank over there. Even we can tell the other sales representative to improve their rank as well. So this kind of stuffs, I mean, there are lots of things, I mean, we can improve in the business so that it should be in a particular optimum position and without using we cannot, if we have the, I mean, business intelligence play the role that we can have less loss for a particular business as well. We can decreasing the loss and increasing our gain. This is the main motto. Okay. So this is the thing. BI applications, they're collecting the data. It's not only sales data actually. There may be order data, maybe employees information, lots of stuff we can collect, and we can convert them the thing in a meaningful data in the BI application. And then on top of BI, that particular data, we are creating the KPIs. KPI, the detailed thing I'll be covering tomorrow. Just like you can set example, the KPI may be sales in the previous quarter. That in a particular graph, a particular business owner can check that thing. Revenue growth in last 5 years. Best selling product in each season. So this kind of graph, I mean, from the graph, business owner can quickly identify this kind of stuffs. So we need to prepare the data such a way that the visualization team can quickly create those charts. There are lots of charts actually. Actually, I covered that thing earlier as well, just like heat map, scatter plot, bar chart, pie chart. So each of the requirement we need to create each of the things. That is totally business requirement. They will help us to understand what kind of chart is required for which purpose. But so, I mean, ultimate goal is we need to create that particular chart to the business owner and they can take the decision based on these KPIs, those matrices. Okay. Now I'm entering into BI application, how it's working. So this is the next cycle. The same thing I just, I'm inside the BI application now. This is the OLTP system. That means the source data is storing over here. Online transaction, let me give you the full form. Online transaction processing, OLTP. If you're going to face the interview, then you can, then they can ask the questions. What is OLTP system? And why this is called OLTP? Because the transactional data is there. Transactional data means in store, we are getting the data, the transaction. Okay. So for each second or each minute, the tables records are getting increased. Okay. So those are called, mainly this is a transaction and the data is being stored in OLTP. That is the transactional data is getting stored in OLTP system. And that is the source system of data engineers as well. We are taking data from OLTP system. we are loading the data through ETL in data warehouse. ETL thing also I'll be covering tomorrow with more detailing part. Till now I have, mentioned that particular term multiple times because ETL in data, for the data engineers, if we are working as a data team, then the ETL is the main thing we have to work on. Okay. So we are working on over there and we can store the OLTP into data warehouse in a meaningful way. Okay. Then the visualization team, they will be reporting the thing in visualization way. The chart, graphs and all. So reporting team will be doing that thing, the visualization team actually. And when that is been presented to the business owner, the decision strategy maker, they will be planned for the next quarters. What should they modify at their business and all. When they modify the thing, they need to take some actions. Maybe some product which is the best selling product, they want to sell that particular product more in the store. So that's why they need to increase the productivity in the manufacturer factory or anything, or they need to tell the wholesaler that they need that particular product uh, with uh, with lots of quantity and all. So those kind of decision they have to make, and the same thing we going to reflect in the next OLTP. So it's a cycle. We can see that that thing will be coming over here, and later when the decision maker will check the reporting graph again, they can check the graph will be increased. The profit is getting increased and the loss is getting decreased. So this kind of stuff is a cycle one. It's totally based on business strategy. The decision maker, what decision they need to take on top of the data, on top of seeing the data. So whatever we are collecting at the store, it's not for just only keeping the records. A whole business strategy is there. We are building the thing. Maybe the small business, they're not, doing that thing in business intelligence, but whoever is just going with long term goals and achieve the things in longer manner, and the profits and the forecasting of the business, we can see the future of the business as well. So what the kind of loss we are going to face in next quarter, we can see this thing in this quarter only, checking the graphs itself. So by checking that thing, we can take some preventive actions and all. So those are the uh, thing that the BI is helping in the business side currently. Okay. Till now, any doubt? Then I'll be just entering the next slides. If there is any doubt, please tell me.
No doubts.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So now I'll be just going ahead with one by one. What is the thing? There, I even I face the thing. And as per my experience, I'm working in that thing. Earlier, I was used to work in reporting. So data, the data team prepared the data warehouse data, and I was going to prepare the variety kind of charts and all. Okay, so I was in reporting team. That means the visualization team earlier was working in ClickSense as a primary tool. Later we worked on the data as well, the ETL, variety ETL tools, as well as the big data part. So I moved in this, this particular thing. We also have, we need that particular reporting experience as well, because when you are creating the tables at the data warehouse layer, we need to talk with them. Particular reporting guys as well. So what kind of tables they required, and also a collaboration is required between data team and reporting team. So we also need to know what particular kind of data they are asking for and all. A bit experience is required. It's not a must thing. So this is the scenario. The data engineers can play the important role over here. I just mean to say the same thing. Okay. So my next slide is OLTP. Okay, there is another term OLAP. OLTP I'm just covering over here, and OLAP I'll be covering the next slide. So what is OLTP? I'm not maximizing the slide because sometimes I just not playing this one, because sometimes I need to go ahead with another tool or Notepad plus plus or anything. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry for that. So OLTP just I showed to you. It's from where we are getting the source data. OLTP is called online transaction processing. OLTP is online transaction processing systems and class that managed and facilitated the support operational of transaction oriented applications. So just like variety of things, I mean, for the banking systems as well, the daily basis transactions are getting stored in OLTP. Even in train reservation system, uh, I mean, insurance company, we are paying the premiums and all those kind of data. The transactional data, I mean, those are directly impacted from the user side. Okay. So just like in reservation system, the backend thing they are working in mainframe. If we are aware of that one, and it's getting stored. Mainframe is working as a tool at the OLTP. I mean, it's outside of OLTP, and it's storing the data through mainframe. It's getting stored in Oracle. So Oracle is the OLTP system over here. So this kind of stuffs, I mean, those are called OLTP, the transactional data from the immediate source system. What we are fetching the data and storing it into the system, that is called OLTP. Okay. Just like the example is been provided over here. Bank transaction, sales transaction in retail store, railway booking, cancellation, those kind of stuffs. In pharmaceutical company as well, what kind of orders they are receiving, the healthcare thing. So this kind of everything, whatever it's tagged with the users, the data, those are getting stored in OLTP system. Okay. And OLAP, what is this? I'm going to the next slide. OLAP is online analytical processing system. Okay, let me just omit that. Online analytical processing system. So it's specially you can see this thing in data warehouse, not exactly in data warehouse. So while we are just going to feed the data into the reporting layer, even in data warehouse we can say, I mean the end of the data warehouse, what we are preparing, all merging all the tables in a single, so that everything we can get in from a single table. So that thing is OLAP. OLAP, and why it's OLAP? The analytical thing, the particular function we need to implement, the particular logic we need to implement, that is present or that is easily feasible in OLAP system, OLAP database. So that's why it is called online analytical processing system. And we can make the queries, complex queries on top of OLAP, which is not possible over here. In OLTP, it is also possible, but the main fundamental idea for OLTP, we are not going to do the analytical query on top of that one. It's for transactional data. Simply we can insert or create the thing for OLTP, it's fine. But the complex query for decision makers and all, it should not be. It should be with OLAP. OLAP should be stored over in this scenario over here. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Sorry for that. Okay. So this is the entire thing. I mean, the difference between OLTP and OLAP. You can quickly go through the difference between OLTP and OLAP. This is a very important questions from the interviewer. So, I mean, what kind of database we have to use over here? So that should be Teradata. Oracle we also can use. There is Snowflake. Uh, there is Redshift. So those kind of database we can quickly use in OLAP. From where the data scientist team, the data analytics team, the visualization team can take data and make the next step to the decision owners can take the decision. Okay. Till now, any doubt for OLTP and OLAP? Hopefully no. Now the important topic, the decision support system. That is totally, I mean, they are from the business side. Actually, if you are just going, if you're already in a company, or if you're just going to join in a company, the data engineer team should not be, actually this is the scenario. If a company is owning the business intelligence, they provide the data thing, I mean that particular work, ETL reporting, that particular work to another vendor. Okay. uh, that vendor is recruiting us, I mean data engineers. And when we are preparing the graphs and all, or preparing the meaningful data, then the decision makers should be their company only, their IT team, the decision strategy planning. There's business IT, BU IT, we can say. Even they can also give us the requirement. We have to work in this way. So the decision strategy planning, they need to check first what kind of data they need to check at the end. So those are the questions. You can quickly check what is the sales distribution region wise. So maybe my outlet is a famous one, and in each of the region of this country we have that one. So we need to check region wise what is the distribution, sales distribution. So each of the product, how many, I mean how much profit we are receiving, and lots of things. How can promotions be better targeted for greater leverage? Promotions and all. So this kind of stuffs, the decision maker, they need to check. Okay, and that particular thing they can achieve from the graph. So I mean there are, I mean in transactional thing, the lots of transaction is, I mean for a big outlet we can see daily basis there's a millions of transactions. Not millions, I mean more than 10,000 and all. If we just in India, I'm talking about, there are Great Eastern for electronics product. Just like Reliance Digital, if you're aware of that one. So people are buying the product daily basis. So lakhs of transactions are there in daily basis product. But if we cannot directly check in the transaction what is the, I mean what decision we need to take on that one. So we do not get what is the causing of my, I'm getting I mean from the comparatively from the previous quarter, there is loss in my I mean in the same quarter I am having now. So what is the hidden trend, what is the hidden pattern is there that I'm getting the loss? So this kind of scenario only, that particular BI will help us. So that's why the decision maker, the decision makers, I mean the decision support system who will be taking the decision, generally they are the employee from the company itself, and they're recruiting the person from themselves. So even when the data engineers are getting experienced as well, then they can also move in the decision makers. So they have the experience to handling the data teams, the visualization teams, and they can also take the decision on the business side. So we need to know the KPIs, and we as of now as the data engineer perspective, we need to understand their requirement properly, what kind of data they want to see, and based on that we need to prepare the data. And the visualization team has to prepare those kind of KPI so that they can quickly check and understand. Okay. Just like a simple example I'm giving you, I mean showing over here. So this kind of records we are receiving in a tabular format. Okay. But ultimate, when the project is completed, project is live in the production side, then it should be showing in this kind of graphs. Just I mean checking the graphs, if we just maximize or minimizing the thing, even we can I mean there are facilities in the tool itself. We can drill down, drill up. I mean we can check the graph over here. If I'm just maximizing the graph, then I'm scrolling this thing, that I mean the less dimension, it will be showing each point, it will be marking what is the sales and all, the y-axis. So that is a bit, I mean not a bit, it's quite helpful for the decision maker to take the decision. After that the cycle will be going on, and they can check how much increase at their profit it is. So our ultimate target, the visualization team will be building this kind of graph and reports on top of the OLTP data. I mean OLTP is the first data, and I mean OLAP data will be, I mean visualization team will be creating that one. Okay. Okay. Any doubt till now?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, what is the major difference between OLTP and OLAP? is the only transactional process or anything difference between them?
Yeah, I mean, if we just go ahead with, I mean, the difference, there will be lots of difference. First of all, the main high level difference is the transactional data, the source system. Just like I just give an example, the banking system, we are going at, I mean, the bank, I mean, then the transaction is happened, and the transaction is directly getting stored in OLTP system. Okay. Then by ETL, it's getting stored in data warehouse. And in data warehouse, before preparing the data to visualization team, they are getting stored in OLAP system, analytical processing system, so that the visualization team can analyze that particular thing. So for the difference specific, if they are calling for the difference, we can say, if we are just, I think you were all there in the first or second classes. If you could remember the normalization process as well. So in the normal, I mean, the OLTP records are normalized way. They're recorded in a normalized way, but OLAP, there is no such normalization. Is not normalized. And
Yeah,
yeah,
in
tell
that
me.
the data will be in different forms, right? So
So I didn't get you. Can you please come again once
like
more?
that, in OLAP the data will be in different forms, right? When it's dumped into data warehouse or like that.
No, not in the different forms. Just like degenerate thing. I mean, when we are getting the thing from the source system, we can having that thing. Uh, or different order table, product table, just like this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when we are preparing everything, we have the data mart. I think you are aware of the data mart. I'll be covering that thing later. We have the data mart, separate dimensions and facts. So before going at the reporting, we are creating a view. Okay, in that particular view or table, we are having not only having the primary keys, secondary keys. Instead of that, we will be having everything: order ID, product
Hmm.
ID, product, everything in a single table. Okay, so that on top of that particular table, we can quickly having the complex queries, so that the data analyst team, actually data scientist, will be doing the particular logic implementation. They will be checking the deviation, variance on top of the data, and so that we have to make we I mean from separate table we can bring all the things in single table. That's why OLAP should be having less number of tables. OLTP should be having greater number of tables. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So by joining and everything, we are preparing that OLAP. Joining between multiple tables and all, we are, the column number should be increased for OLAP tables, so that we can get everything in a single tables. This is one of the thing.
Oh, okay, got
And
it.
if you're just going at the difference, there are five, six heavy difference. I mean, which things are uh, the OLTP is more integrated. I mean, the duplication part should be there at OLAP side. I mean, data storage purpose. OLTP. If this is hardware related part, something OLTP tables are taking less data. I mean, they are storing. I mean, they are using the storage
Okay.
space of the database server in a more good way, just like comparing to OLAP. This is one difference. So based on different motto, we are using that ones. This is for analytical purpose. The logic we need to implement on that one. So that's why it's a different thing, and this is the main purpose of creating that one. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks for your question. Hopefully it's answered, and you can also check from Google once more what is the difference. There are 5 to 6 difference are there. Just quickly go ahead. If there is any doubt, we can click come again tomorrow session. So I just have a quick slide that if we do not have the DSS, so there will be lots of issues. I mean, it should be, when business owner can quickly check from today's transaction, business owner can quickly check what should we do for tomorrow. But if we do not have the DSS, then there should be lots of work or effort we need to spend to get a hidden trend. Why we are facing the loss. So this kind of questions we cannot quickly able to understand what is the issue and all. So without a world without DSS, the data is spread across the organization, but we cannot able to check what is the hidden pattern quickly. Delays and hardships to access the data. Business users spends too much time on IT tasks. Even business users, they have to work in IT field as well, analyzing the data, creating reports, formatting and all. Okay, productivity will be less at the IT side as well. If the total cycle is slowed down, then that should be the only thing. And just like over here, we are creating the report itself. Daily basis, the data is coming. We are refreshing our ETL. Okay. Once the job and the reporting part is live, I just mean to say it's live in production system. Then if the new transaction is coming from the source system, we need to run our job daily basis. Job means ETL, we need to create some batch or job which are loading the data from here to here. So there are scheduled jobs which should be scheduled at a particular time. Maybe it should be non-business hours. Okay. So business before business morning time, the data is refreshed. That means the previous day's record is getting refreshed at the data warehouse. And again, the reporting tool is run. I mean, that is also refreshed so that the graph should be having the latest record at the data warehouse side. So this is the concept. So when it is built once, we do not have to build multiple times. What we have to do, we need to refresh the job, the ETL job, and again the reporting job. And that is also been done in automated way. There is scheduled jobs. If we are working in Linux, there is cron tab for scheduler. There is Windows scheduler as well. There are lots of other scheduler, just like Control M, AutoSys in current manner. So we have to schedule the job. Suppose I mean business hour starts from 7 a.m. EST timing. So at the midnight of EST, the particular job is being scheduled. Okay. And the reporting job is scheduled not on time dependent manner. It is scheduled in the job dependent on ETL. So when ETL job will be finished, it will be automatically triggered. So there are lots of things are currently there. Just like there are Lambda functions as well. We can trigger a particular job through other, I mean, Lambda functions from Amazon, AWS side, or any other thing we can do. That is one of the example I just provided for automating stuffs in our project. So you can also just go at the things with later when you are entering a project or applications on related to data warehouse. Okay. So where we are? Yeah, this one. So this is another picture I just want to show you. I just found it so that I am just going to share with you. So this is the overall thing we are getting. Data entry operator. This is the transaction. They are storing the thing is operational database. This is OLTP system we can say. Extract data is the ETL. We are storing the data in data warehouse. It's not a simple step actually. There are lots of steps over here. I will maximize the thing again in the next slides. ETL, I mean, to design ETL, it's not a simple manner. We need to develop the code in proper way so that it should be fit in data warehouse. There should be less work for reporting team. They just have to build the analytical function on top of data. Okay. But what we learned till now, the SQL queries, Pythons, those are very much useful for this kind of stuffs. Over here, reporting layers as well, SQL is being used over here as well. Okay. And this is the manager, I mean, this is supporting system who can take the decision and I mean, they can tell the data entry operator we need to do this way, or they can take the decision. And the daily basis thing will be going on in this way. Okay. Now I'll be coming to the topic data warehouse. What is data warehouse? So data warehouse, as I mentioned, we are storing the data daily basis, or it's not a daily basis actually, based on the transaction. If maybe the particular job refresh can be done half an hour, based on the how critical the system is, how quickly the business owner should have to take the decision. Based on the criticality of the system, the data warehouse is being refreshed or the ETL job can be run. Okay. As of now, what I have worked for my experience, I have worked in pharmaceutical company just like Johnson and Johnson, some insurance company. It's AIG insurance company. So over there, it's not such critical. We can refresh the job daily basis. So the business owner can check the strategy is just like this way. Whatever transaction we made today, that will not be reflected quickly in the data warehouse. The same data will be reflected tomorrow. So what is getting stored in OLTP today, that will be refreshed at the midnight of business hours. And the very next day, business owner can check the same data at the website. I mean, the graphs, in the charts, so that they can take the decision or they can change their mind or anything, whatever they require. So this is as per the criticality of the system, this kind of requirements may come. Okay. Okay, and what is the properties of the data warehouse? It should be subject oriented. Obviously, I mean, what subject we are working on, the data warehouse. I mean, if we are having separate subject, then the data warehouse should be different. That's the thing I mean to say over here. It should be integrated. Data should be integrated. Time variant. The historical data would be saved over here. Maybe to last 12 years data plus 13 years data. They need to check the pattern from the history as well. Which product we are using and what kind of growth we are having. They can also check last 12 years data, last 10 years data, last 50 years data. So this kind of historical data, it's getting stored over here. It's not getting deleted. So that's why it's time variant. Non-volatile, it cannot be deleted. Nowadays, if we are using the cloud system, then we have various region that we can store the data, so that the data, if the data is lost in one center, then we can fetch the data from another center. It's not volatile. That's why, I mean, the data cannot be in the data in data warehouse cannot be erased, because this is one of the, not one, it's the most important stuff over here. Just like if we're working in Snowflake, if anyone is having experience, Snowflake is the data warehouse. I mean, it's a database which is being used in data warehouse. Mistakenly, if the data is getting deleted, okay, in a particular table, the data is getting deleted by an employee, then we have the time travel opportunity in Snowflake. We can check for a particular time what data it was there. So we can take the backup from that day's data and we can push it to current day's table again. So nowadays on the data warehouse, I mean, those kind of features and functionality we are having with us, so that the data cannot be lost anymore in any way. Okay. So that there will not be any hamper to the business owner to check the to take the decision, to check the data, the historical levels as well. So those features should be there at the data warehouse side. Now this is the main architecture how we are loading the data. It's for the ETL team, we can see. So this is the total transactional area. We are receiving the data from variety of sources. Just like we can see mainframe external sources. There may be Oracle data, maybe data from SAP, maybe data from flat files itself. Maybe there are less data, so user are directly loading the data in the Excel format. Okay. So the lots of source system records data should be there. Now we need to push everything in a single data warehouse. But it's not only one single ETL layer. We are having the first staging layer, staging area, that is also being stored by ETL. This is the ETL process that we are taking this data and pushing into staging area. Why it's called staging area? Staging area, it's also in our scope actually. ETL, I mean, ETL is storing the data from source system to staging area. That means OLTP to staging area. Staging area, it does not perform any conversion or any transformation. It directly took the data from the source system and push into staging area in tabular format. Uh, but the staging area, the main difference between staging area and data warehouse, staging area does not contain the historical data. Daily basis, the data comes and the tables are truncated and loaded again. Okay, it does not maintain the history. daily basis transactions are being stored over here. New data will be coming tomorrow, and that should be the old data will be deleted and new data will be inserted. So no historical things are getting mentioned. I mean, getting stored over here. No transformation is there. Whatever data we are receiving, just we are giving them in a single format only in the staging area. Then we are cleansing the thing and transformation the thing in the next layer of ETL. If possible, we can put some aggregation functions and we are pushing the data in ODS data warehouse. ODS is same kind of stuffs and data warehouse a bit change. Some project we are not using ODS, we are directly using data warehouse and data marts. DM called data marts, DW is data warehouse. Okay, and ODS is operational data store. So it's not been used for all the projects. Maybe some project we are using ODS, some project we are using data warehouse, not using that one. So it's specially for after cleansing and transforming the thing, we are pushing the data in data warehouse, and the data mart are those are the miniature of data warehouse. So based on single subject area, actually in data warehouse there are lots of things are getting stored over here. If possible, the visualization team can directly take the data from here. But now onwards, they are using the data marts as well. They're segregating the things again into data marts and taking data from here. It's based on the project requirement, what we can do, whether we can use ODS, DW, or DM, what kind of stuffs we require. So here is a small definition. Okay, another thing, there is a metadata layer. What is the thing? So the ETL, everything, what we are doing over here, there must be a metadata layer, which is storing those the audit records of those data even. The tabular structure, the staging area. Sometimes in ETL, we need to pass the parameter. Okay. Just like I told, the job is designed only one and the data is getting refreshed daily basis or just like this. So when it's in production, then we cannot touch the production job. We cannot modify anything in the job, but we can refresh the job only to take the current data. But the job will be having parameterized to take today's record. So even tomorrow, the job will be taking tomorrow's record. So that kind of metadata information, which record we need to pick. So the job is being driven by the metadata that is being stored in another layer that is called metadata layer. So those are, if you are just working in a ETL or you are going to be working in a ETL, so those are the mandatory part you can quickly understand. Okay. So in the next slide, ODS is there. I'm just going to quickly introduce ODS, data warehouse, and data marts. So ODS means operational data stores. And what is this actually? What is the purpose we are using? ODS is a real-time data. So if we just like when we the frequency of data refresh is much more the real-time data. Actually, we are not going to check the previous 2 days record is getting reflected later. So not this kind of thing. ODS is it's a real-time data. You can see the online data as well. So to solve the day-to-day activities. Okay. And data mart, data mart is a miniature of the data house. So whatever data warehouse what data we are seeing over here, it's just like a miniature format. For single subject line wise, we can uh, push the data into data mart. Just like I think we have some example. Yeah, the same thing I'm retaining over here. So the store related information is stored in data warehouse, but in data mart we can segregate the thing in sales. For sales, there is a different data mart. Finance, different data mart. Marketing, a different data mart. Okay. Till now, any issue? Any questions? You can get interview questions. So what is data mart? Okay, hopefully no. This is also a pictorial diagram. Again, I'm just telling over here. It's a OLTP system. It's a insurance. It's coming from insurance transaction. Okay, and it's getting loaded into the data mart. I mean, the intermediate steps I'm not pushing over, I mean, maintaining over here because we already mentioned the thing, but this is, I'm just omitting this thing by this arrow. And from the OLF system, the reports are being viewed to the executives so that they can take the decisions. Okay. So whether we need to increase the premium or which particular promotions we need to provide. So if there is any cash, I mean, money back policy we need to introduce to, I mean, make it more attractive. So this kind of decision they need to check. Then they can, I mean, take the decision by checking those reports. Okay. Okay. So I'll be just going ahead with a new topic quickly. So till now, if there is any doubt, I hope no, but if there is any doubt for data mart, data warehouse, the thing is clear. I mean, quite clear. It's not too much technical. We are providing. We are going ahead from today onwards. But the things are. I mean, that needs to be understandable to view the overall picture or overall scenario of why we should work in business intelligence as a data engineer. Okay. So people are doing MBA for the finance and all to take the strategical decisions. So they are mainly in the business side as well. To view the report or take the decisions. Okay, hopefully it's fine. I'm just going to the next slide. Topic is a bit different. Now I'm entering the inside the data warehouse and the tables actually.
Which allows users to see the data to generate.
Sorry, actually, are you asking a question? The voice is very low.
Diseases and conditions, decision procedures by just entering the first letter. So these modules involved by just entering. So
Sorry, if it's for myself,
these
I-
modules involved in
I think it's Monica. Monica, are you asking something to me? Okay, sorry, I think you were unmuting yourself and yeah. Okay, fine. So now I'm entering inside the data warehouse. There may be different types of tables we should be having. One is called fact, another one is called dimensions. Okay, so what is the difference between fact and dimensions? And this is the main thing I'll be just going to cover today. And tomorrow onwards, yeah, I'll be just using the same fact and dimension and how to using that, how to use a data model. I mean the meaningful stuffs to be provided to visualization team. So I'm just going to give some small introduction. What is fact? Uh, so fact should be, I mean, it's a quantity actually, the numeric thing. Facts answer the questions how much or how many. So if we are using a sales table, it should be storing the sales related information, the quantity, how many numbers of the quantity has been bought, what is the particular sales. So this kind of stuffs, how much, how many, those kind of thing can be answered, and that those are the facts. Okay. So just this is an example, a pictorial diagram. Fact factor also called measures, and those are the fact data. What is the revenue? What is the cost of a particular product? Number of accounts. So mainly we can say the numeric things. Those are the fact. Okay, numerical. I mean, we have millions dollars of income today. So this is a fact. I mean, I purchased two products. So two is a fact over here. Okay. But I bought a washing machine. It's the washing machine. It's not a fact. It's a dimension. I'll be coming to the dimensions quickly. So the facts are getting stored in a fact table. Okay. Let me just increase the font a bit. So in the fact table, the red highlighted color, you can see those are facts. But the table is called fact table. In the billing table also it's a fact. Number of total minutes, number of calls, service charge, taxes. So it's this is fact table. What's the difference? I mean, those are the fact record, those red color highlighted one. Besides that, there are 3 columns over here, 4 columns are here. Those are key column. So something may be primary key of that table and something may be foreign key of another table. So in the fact table should be, I mean, it should be clearer in tomorrow's session. We should be having schema creation. It's star schema, snowflake schema. I'll be just going ahead with that stuff. But over here, in fact table, we need to maintain those key columns so that we can create those schemas. We can have the joining criterias with dimensions. So that's why fact is designed in this way. We should be having the primary key of that table. I think we are all aware what is primary key. Earlier we have covered this thing in earlier chapters. And what is foreign keys? Foreign keys means to join with other tables, other dimensions. Okay, so those are the keys and the other things are facts. Even for billing table as well, the first 4 are keys. It is not the meaningful data actually. I mean, it is the key to join with another dimensions. And the rest of the parts are fact data. Okay, now I'm going at what is dimension. Dimensions answers the question who, why, what, where. Those are dimensions. So it's also important role. Just like we have a product table, so we will be having only one key, just like product ID and the entire details of the product. What is the product name? The product is a food item. So its description, what it's do, the preservation date, time. So this kind of stuff, those all information, those all data, the product data, the time related things. Those are all dimensions. Okay, those who are not quantifiable, those are called dimensions. Just like we have employee dimension to maintain the employee table, employee records, employee address. Those are all the thing. Okay. So I just keep this kind of dimension we can check in our future applications, customer, time. Okay. And just let me go through the dimension table, how it's look like. We have store dimension, product dimension. Just like I told, there may be one key. This is the primary key of that table, and that can be joined with a fact table. Okay. Just like store key, you can see store key over here and store key over here. So dimensions and fact can be joined by the store key. Store key is a primary key for the dimension and a foreign key for the fact table, but that can be easily joined. And irrespective, without the key, we should be having other columns which are called the dimensions. The city, state, region, country of the store. Those are dimensions. In the product as well, product key is there. This is the key item. And apart from that, everything is dimension. Okay. So any doubt for fact and dimension? Those are going to play the important role from tomorrow's session. The day session for tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Even in your practical, maybe you can get lots of questions in while you are facing the interview. What is fact? What is dimension? And how we are going to join between them? What schema we need to follow? We have this scenario. What schema we need to follow? The schema part I'll be covering tomorrow. So these kind of questions are very important. The difference between star schema and snowflake schema. So those are the important topic we can cover tomorrow. But today I'm just going to give you the concept what is fact and dimension. So is there any doubt between these two? Okay, I think no doubt. So tomorrow, yeah, this is the last slide that I covered. So tomorrow we'll be just going ahead with the fact and dimension and how to create the data modeling. And the data modeling is getting used in the next visualization tool. And that is the main motto, to have the meaningful data, and we can provide the same thing to the user. To the visualization team, and visualization team can take this thing as a reference and build the graphs and the charts, and provide the same thing in front of business owner. Okay. Okay, then that's all from today's session. Hopefully you can have a better picture what is business intelligence and how it's playing the key role for the business owner or to get the insight of the data and all. So let's connect tomorrow for the more insights on fact and dimension and the latter topic as well. Okay. Okay then. Thanks. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.